Let the record show this is a regular city council meeting of the Jasper City Council, Monday, July the 21st, 2014, Jasper City Hall, 465 South Main Street. We appreciate everyone for being here. We welcome you all to the People's House. I would like to ask you, if you would, to turn off your cell phones in case there's to keep from interrupting the meeting. Would also like to show that all the city council members are here except for Thomas Schofield and also Raymond Hobson. I did receive word about 30 minutes ago from the city secretary that they're not going to be able to be here tonight, unknown what their problem is. Hope that there's no problems in their family. With that, Alton, would you give us a prayer, please?
There we go. Heavenly Father, Lord, we come before you one more time. God, once again, as only we know how. Bow down here and uplift the spirits come before you right now. And we're asking you in the name of Jesus. Father, look down upon us and to have mercy. Father, forgive every sin and borrow the transgression in the name of Jesus. God, we ask you to move by your spirit in this council meeting tonight, God. Give us knowledge and wisdom. Help us to make godly decisions. Just have your way in this meeting and let your presence be made known. And we'll forever give your name the glory, the honor, and the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank God. Amen.
Okay, up next we have the departmental reports. Co-council's had time to look at these reports. Is there any questions or concerns? In the departmental reports, Council, can you tell us, well, I'll just say that we've talked to Council regarding when it comes to the street department, and he is working on the project on the land that the city no longer needs over on the east side of town. You know, have that for the next meeting, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think no need to talk about it tonight, but you're going to address it at the next meeting.
Yeah.
I had some questions of the city manager today. That would be under the street department reports. Any other departmental reports you have a question or concern about? Okay, with that said and done, we have one public comment from Christine Ratcliffe Gobert. Mrs. Ratcliffe wants to speak to us about feral cats.
Do I need to stand up?
Come on up front. You have 3 minutes, please.
Get over by that podium over there.
I guess that's coming under the number 6.
Do you object to taking advice from legal counsel?
Help us.
Go ahead.
Help us play again, child.
Okay, on number 6, is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I'm glad that's finally being addressed here. I have hesitated on bringing that before the council, but I do feel like the cats are multiplying. They don't have a home per se. They are, because I live right in the city and I see where they're being fed, and I see that they're just coming out of the woodwork, and they're over at the Beatty Orton house. They're in front of businesses. For those people that don't care for cats, I like animals, but I just don't care particularly to be around cats. I hesitate to even go into certain stores because they're being fed behind the store, in front of the store, and the store owners kind of don't want to get involved. But also at the churches, they're being fed, just plates put out, food, and people get out of their cars, and if they're at a funeral or a wedding or a service, the cats are there. And I just think that if they're a pet, that's great. Take care of the pet, leave them at your house, in the yard, whatever. If they're just feeding them to have them stay alive, they don't really belong to anybody, no one's claiming them, I think that the ordinance should be certainly considered by the council. And I speak for a lot of different people in the community through that I hear from the school or out in other places, from churches to businesses. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. And that's about all I have to say about that. Okay.
Thank you.
I hope I didn't embarrass council too much.
For those of you that don't know, her counselor, our city's counselors are brothers. So that's fine. Okay, with that, we're going to go into executive session pursuant to Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Section 551-074. We'll be discussing personnel matters. We'll also be evaluating an annual contract for Judge Robert Jackson, and Section 55-071, consultation with energy representative Mr. John Hurstel regarding pending litigations of the San Rafael Municipal Power Agency and the Vernon Parish Power Authority. We have some council or some people that are involved in these meetings here tonight that have another meeting that they have to also attend here in town, which is also pursuant to its governmental body, and they have a duty to the taxpayers that are in that. So with that said and done, I'm going to first ask Mr. Robert Jackson to come in along with the city's attorney, Mr. Michael Stewart Ratcliffe, the city manager, and also Mr. Joe Whitener on this first round. If you'll come in now, please. Okay, let the record show that the Jasper City Council is back in open session at this time, 7:11 p.m. I sincerely, very briefly, want to apologize to the members of this council. Short of discussing how many gamma rays are produced by alpha and beta particles at high speed, we had a lot to talk about in a short time. There's some very important legal matters, and I'm sorry that it had to take that long, but it did. We have up next, up next, we have a motion in regards to the executive session in connection with the evaluation or the pay for the Judge Robert Jackson.
I move that we grant the city judge the 3% raise.
Second.
Any motion by Mr. McMillan, second by Mr. Scott. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any matters for discussion or any motions from the discussions with the energy representative?
No.
Okay, consider approval for a set of minutes, regular city council meeting in June 16, 2014.
I move to accept. I move to approve.
Second.
A motion by Mrs. Johnson, second by Mr. Scott. Any further discussion?
We had one correction to make on that.
One correction by Mr. McMillan. Tell us
Last
that.
paragraph.
Okay, where's that at?
It's the last paragraph.
Okay.
Hazel Jackson. No, I'm sorry, it's on the first page. Last paragraph. Just a typo.
Okay, where's it at? Can we got 2 to 3 vote?
No, I'm voting for it.
Okay. Okay, all those in
I'm just
favor?
pointing out.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, consider addendum number 1 for amending the contract documents for paving improvements.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion approved, second by Mr. Scott. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let the record show, any opposed? Let the record show the measure passed unanimously. Consider ordinance number 72114A, amending Chapter 6 Code of Ordinance by adding new sections to regulate buildings and building regulations.
Where's Michael? Michael, just briefly explain that, please.
The reason for it is, 2006, when they adopted the building code, they added a little addendum in there that said, "in all other future editions," which took the vote away from this council to adopt new codes. The International Code Congress and other legal entities and most cities have done away with that and allowed it to be adopted by ordinance by the city council on the year that it's approved. And that's all this change is allowing y'all, when we bring new codes in here, you either vote for them or against them, it's your right.
Thank you, Michael.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Second. Motion by Mr. McMillan, second by Mrs. Johnson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, speak. Let the record show the measure passed unanimously.
Mike, did we do number 4?
Yeah.
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 Okay, number 6, consider ordinance number 72114B, revision of existing animal and fowl ordinance.
I move to approve.
Motion by Mrs. Johnson, second by Mr. Scott. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the measure passed unanimously. Okay. Number 7 is consider scheduling city budget workshop. Staff recommends the date of the 29th or the 30th. However, the staff did tell me today that for them, the 29th at 2 p.m. would be the opportune time to begin that discussion.
That's a Tuesday? So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMillan,
Second.
second by Mr. Scott. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Let the record show the measure passed unanimously. Okay, consider approving the 2014 Police Department Rules Manual.
I move to approve.
Moved and approved by Mrs. Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McMillan. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the measure passed unanimously. Consider allowing Chief Robert McDonald to implement changes to the Jasper Police Department Procedure Manual as necessary within the review by the city attorney and the city's HR director.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Johnson and a second by Mr. Scott. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the measure passed unanimously. Okay, we have up next, number 10. Consider ordinance number 72114C, additions to existing section 16 nuisances of the Code of Ordinances.
I move to approve.
Motion by Mrs. Johnson,
Second.
second by Mr. Scott. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the measure passed unanimously. No other items that can be legally voted on or discussed at this time. This council stands adjourned at 7:16 p.m. You can speak. We're not in session now, but you can speak.
You can speak. What does the ordinance mean? What is the revision of that that you voted on?
It just now includes, it specifically mentions feral cats.
And about being, be fined if you
They
feed
might
them.
be fined. If someone asks me, I can tell them.
Yeah, do you have a copy of that ordinance?
No, I did
We'll
not.
get you one.
Where would I find it?
The city secretary gave me one.
Oh, thank you.
Should be online before long, too.
Okay, that's all I need.
Hey, you want me to email you?
Sure.
Thank you.
See you on the-